Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm your host, Rising Oblivion, and welcome back to another video. So this is an article on PersonaCentral.com by Reggie, released November 9th, 2020, and this basically talks about the fact that Sega and Atlus are planning to bring more remasters and remakes thanks to the success of Persona 4 Golden on Steam. We have some record numbers from the studio and from Sega getting money from Atlus because of Persona 4 Golden's Steam success. So Sega Sammy held a video presentation for investors on November 6, 2020. They highlighted that there were 300,000 sales in the Persona series from July to September alone. So just a month or two there, and they had 300,000 sales. So let's go over what they did exactly in this video presentation and what this really means for Atlus and Sega moving forward with a lot of their games. So this is important for us because of Shin Megami Tensei, Catherine, Persona games, other games getting remastered, other games getting ported to other things like the Switch, like Steam, to current gen consoles, next gen consoles. We might be seeing a lot more of that. So it says, during the video presentation, Sega President and CEO Haruki Satomi discussed Sega's plans for their expansion of business rollout slide. During the segment of the presentation, Satomi specifically mentioned Atlus and Sega's desire to work more with the existing library of Atlus titles. Sega is working with different partners to expand their releases to beyond platforms beyond the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo bubble. So they're trying to go out of just the main three consoles. That is why we've seen something like Atlus releasing Persona 4 Golden on Steam. If you didn't know this, there's actually the original Catherine 2 on Steam as well. Sega had not been proactive about releasing Atlus titles on Steam until now, but the direct port of Persona 4 Golden on PC far exceeded their expectations. As a result of P4 Golden's success, Sega wants to release more ports, remasters, and remakes from their catalog of Atlus titles to various platforms. So this huge spike in success has pushed Sega to want to release more of Atlus's content on new platforms and make new remakes. We have a little bit of this business rollout thing from Sega Sammy showing what is going on here. So they have their typical smaller bubble with Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and then they are branching out to Steam, NetEase Games, Tencent Wii Game, and the Epic Game Store. They're branching out to other PC stuff, and then they're branching even farther out than that, showing stuff on the Xbox Game Pass, Stadia, Luna, Apple Arcade. I hope we don't see a lot of stuff like this, especially like Xbox Game Pass. If there's like a locked Shin Megami Tensei game or Persona game and it's locked on Xbox Game Pass, that would kind of suck. But I think Atlus has a lot of ties in with Sony and Nintendo, not really anything with Xbox or anything with like Stadia or stuff like that. Seeing as how they have something on Steam already, I would suggest that we more than likely are going to be seeing more ports onto Steam or more things on the Nintendo Switch or PS4 or the next gen console like the PS5 or something like that. Is probably what we're going to end up seeing for more Shin Megami Tensei Persona type stuff. But Shin Megami Tensei in particular has a pretty decent tie-in with the Nintendo partnership that they have with, SMT3 Remaster is coming out on PS4 and coming out on the Switch, but Shin Megami Tensei 5 is locked into, I believe, a 1-year contract with the Nintendo Switch. A lot of people don't actually know it is exclusive to the Switch is what it says, but some people think it's more than likely just going to be locked like that for like a year or so. Maybe it's just some exclusivity deals, maybe it's not limited only to the Switch, but as we know right now, more Shin Megami Tensei stuff might be stuck more on the Switch because of those contracts that they have. But we are seeing more stuff like Persona games being put onto Steam and stuff like that, but we're also seeing them be put onto the PS5 as well. If you have a PlayStation Plus membership on the PS5, you get Persona 5 kind of for free. I mean, you're paying for Plus anyway, but you probably are going to do that anyway. It's similar to the Xbox Game Pass, but anyway, we'll stop rambling on here. This statement by Satomi is similar to the one made in August during the investor Q&A regarding Persona 4 Golden's surprising success and the desire to port previously released titles to Steam and other platforms. After its Steam release on June 13th, Persona 4 Golden had reached over 500,000 players as of July 10th. So that literally means about a month later, they had 500,000 players playing the game. That's a lot of money. According to the FY ending March 2021 quarter 2 results, presentation, the release of Persona 4 Golden for Steam generated approximately 2 billion yen. That's approximately 19 million USD for the company June 2020 alone. So that's pretty much $20 million that Persona 4 Gold made on Steam in 1 month. That is pretty insane to think about. $20 million because you ported a game more than 10 years old onto the PC. And it did that all in just 1 month. Obviously, sales, I think, are probably going to calm down. Typically, the first, year or something like that of a game being ported like that typically ends up being its, good run. It typically doesn't make more money than that, but that's still a lot of money for it just being ported over to there. An initiative for porting older games that could likely be included on this year's release of Catherine Full Body for Nintendo Switch, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster for the Nintendo Switch and PS4. There's a good chance that because Persona 4 Golden did so well on that, that's why we're getting things like Catherine Full Body on Nintendo Switch, the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. There's a good chance that because of the success of Persona 4 Golden on Steam being ported there, that might be why we're seeing other titles be brought around. I'm not too sure why they don't just put Catherine Full Body on to Steam, seeing as how the original Catherine is on there. I don't know, maybe they're sort of locked into doing contracts with Nintendo and Sony. That doesn't really make sense. It seems like they really own all the rights to Catherine and there's no contracts or anything like that, that they're just porting it wherever they want to. I mean, it's on PS4, and it's on Switch, so why not just put it on Steam, I guess. I mean, the other ones there, they obviously have the capabilities of doing so. It might just take them a little bit longer, just seeing as how they're not really used to putting stuff on PC. That might be why it takes them a little bit longer to port stuff onto there. We're seeing more and more Nintendo Switch releases and, Persona games being put on PS5 and stuff like that. We're seeing stuff being put to these consoles, but I am seeing a small bit of them not doing so much stuff on PC. It might be because it takes them a bit longer to do so. We do know that Atlus was looking for people to help them with using the Unreal Engine, which seems to be what they're switching to for stuff like Shin Megami Tensei 5 and probably Persona 6 if it ever comes out, 20 years from now when we get it. It seems to be that they're having a harder time figuring out things for PC releases, ports, remasters. I think what we'll end up seeing is more stuff for Steam later on and more stuff on the Nintendo Switch and PS4. I don't know if we'll be really seeing anything on Xbox, just seeing with the ties that they have with the certain companies. More than likely, I bet that's what we're going to end up seeing, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more Atlus, or not Atlus, but Sega stuff just come out all over the place, especially with like Yakuza. We've seen a huge boom in Yakuza games recently, which is absolutely insane. Remasters, ports, being brought over. It's on Game Pass now. It's like all of these games from Sega are being thrown all over the place, which is good. It's good for Atlus because at least we're getting ports for stuff. Yes, it might be all over the place and sort of random. Certain things are locked on the Switch, some stuff is on the PS4, and then we have certain things on Steam. It's not exactly ideal yet because in order to play Persona 4 Golden, you still need to have like a Vita, a super old console, or a computer. So if you're just like a console guy, you still cannot play Persona 4 Golden. So yeah, it's sort of strange still. Yeah, we're doing better though. At least that's something we can say. They're at least trying to port them. It just takes them a long time. They're typically a smaller like company than what most bigger companies who can just easily port something like that can do. And their capabilities with doing stuff on PC is a little bit harder. But I think what would be really cool and what I would like to see is some ports of the really old Persona games. I'm talking like Persona 1, 2, and 3 brought onto PC. You could even remaster them. I know there were talks of having a Persona 3 remaster, but not just like Persona 3, just we upscaled the graphics, but like a full-on Persona 3 like do-over. Similar to how we have Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, something like Persona 3 Golden or Persona 3 Royal. It wouldn't be called that, it'd be something different, but that would be really cool to see, seeing as that game never really got that full-on treatment where they updated and had other characters added to the game and stuff like that. It might not have needed it because from what I hear, Persona 3 is actually one of the best Persona games, and I've never gotten to play it yet. I own it on my PS3, but I'm like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to play it on the PS3? I don't know if I really want to do that. It seems kind of, do I really want to play it in like 720p on my crappy PS3? I don't really feel like I want to do that, but hopefully we see more stuff like that. Older Shin Megami Tensei games would be really dope as well. I can't wait for the releases on Nintendo Switch for Shin Megami Tensei. Those would be like the first SMT games I ever end up actually playing. But I think that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Let me know, what would you like to see remastered from the Atlus catalog? There's a ton of stuff they can do, really. Even other stuff like Catherine and all the other like Doctor games they have. There's a ton of stuff they can do, really. It's more than just SMT and Persona. They have a lot more stuff than that. But I think it's going to wrap up this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.